And so what was the 𝙁𝙊𝙐𝙇𝙍 deal? Like multiple sort of structure? How did you guys do it?
Yeah, part of what when I'm talking to entrepreneurs that are contemplating going to market, selling their company, right? It's not just the number, it's the structure of the deal, right, that matters. So it gets very easy to focus on dollars when really it's at least as much about like how are those dollars going to get to you. So we negotiated quite a while with 𝙁𝙊𝙐𝙇 on some of these issues. So yeah, the deal was pretty simple at the end of the day. It was based on multiples of revenue, so roughly 1.1 times revenue was where we ended up. And then the structure was substantial cash up front. I'm going to say 60%. I'm doing this from memory. There was a holdback on that for 12 months. And then there was the rest was 2 years. It wasn't really an earnout. It was just the remainder was shares in 𝙁𝙊𝙐, which we couldn't exercise for 2 years, after which we had an opportunity to exit those shares. Either if we'd been public, could on the public market, or if it was private, we were able to exercise a put. So the idea was that we had cash in hand, but then we had a second opportunity to grow with the company.
Got it. So just let me understand the 2-year share piece. So is 𝙁𝙊𝙐 a publicly traded company?
No, privately traded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a private company. And so you rolled 40% of your equity, but you had the rights to put that equity, in other words, force 𝙁𝙐𝙐 to buy it from you at a predetermined valuation. Is that correct? Right. Okay. Yeah. That's super helpful. And the predetermined valuation, was it the same 1.1 times revenue that you sold the first tranche of equity?
Yeah, exactly. So it was basically the floor. Our intention and our hope was that it would in fact increase. And, 𝙁𝙁𝙐𝙗's been quite successful. We were 2,000 people when they bought my company, including our numbers, and we're just pushing 6,000 people now. So the growth has been pretty dramatic.
And the 2 years, how much did you grow the company in that 2 years that you held those shares?
By the company, do you mean my company or the company?
I mean your company in particular.
So that's interesting because we were rolled in. So I don't know the numbers for us individually. Like I couldn't point to what our team delivered just because of the way that we did our accounting. But the company as a whole grew probably 75% over those 2 years.
I see. So you got shares in 𝙁𝙁𝙐.
In 𝙁𝙁𝙐.
Not in your company, but in 𝙁𝙁𝙐.
I apologize. Yes, in 𝙁𝙁𝙐. I wasn't clear on that. So the shares were actually in 𝙁𝙁𝙐 itself.
𝙁𝙁𝙐. And then you were entitled to sell those shares 2 years after holding on to them. And those shares had grown in value because 𝙁𝙁𝙐 had grown in size.
Yeah, we were only able to exit at the put value, or else we hung on to them until there was a liquidity event, was the way we'd structured the deal. So basically there was a floor to the price, but there wasn't an upside, but there wasn't guaranteed liquidity at anything other than the floor to the price.
Oh, that's super helpful. Okay, so the floor... the negotiation was that if you really want to sell in 2 years, you can, but you'd be walking away from a ton of value because we've grown the business by 75%. But
that's right. But it gave us some confidence that if things, did not grow as planned, we'd be able to exit. Now, listen, it's an unusual deal. I don't know we've done like that since that at 𝙁𝙁𝙐.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting.
Where we were and where they were at that time and where they were at in their fundraising efforts, it just kind of made sense.